Hello folks, thanks for joining this episode of Sam's Device Advice. Today I wanted to show you a quick tutorial of how to record your screen, and you can start using it in a variety of different ways. I've used this a couple of times to have my students record what they're doing on their computer and submit it to me as an assignment. One example would be they use Google Slides to make a presentation, and then they record themselves going through the presentation as if they were in front of the class. And this is especially helpful if you have students that are a little too shy to stand up in front of everyone. But I've also used this to actually leave lessons for students if I'm on if I have to have a supply teacher, or if it's just something I want them to do a little bit more self-directed. So I'll have them watch the video of me explaining how to use a website, how to use a tool, whatever it is, and then the students would follow the instructions to go through. So I want to show you an easy tool to use that you can install in Google Chrome. And you could use it on a Chromebook, on a Windows computer, a MacBook, any one of those. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Chrome Web Store. So the Chrome Web Store is essentially Google's version of the App Store, and it's where you can find all of the extensions and themes that you can add to Google Chrome. So I'm going to go to the Chrome Web Store, and then in the search, I'm going to use a program called Screencastify. Now, there are a number of different tools you could use to do screen recordings. I find the free version of Screencastify very impressive. There are some features that some of the other ones have, but that this one doesn't. But I do find this to be one of the easiest to use. Another one that we can look at is called Nimbus, Nimbus. And I've used that as well, but I tend to keep going back to Screencastify for whatever reason. So to install this extension, I'm going to click on the blue Add to Chrome button. And it's going to make sure that it's actually what I want to do. So I'm going to click Add Extension. And this is just going to let me know that Screencastify can show me notifications, it can use cooperating websites, and it'll capture content of my screen, which is the whole point of getting it. So that's not a bad thing for me. So it's going to do a small little install file. It's going to take a little bit of time, and then you're going to see the Screencastify extension pop up right here. So now that I have Screencastify, I am going to I have to set this up first. So I have to log in and do all of that fun stuff. So I'm going to click on my Screencastify icon, and it's going to bring me a sign-in page. And I'm going to leave this selected on because what this does is it automatically saves the videos I record to my Google Drive, and I'll show you where. It just makes it a lot more convenient, I find. Then you can decide if you want to turn on drawing and annotation tools and your microphone and camera. So you can actually include your webcam as part of as part of your video, and obviously having your microphone turned on allows you to dictate what you're doing. So I'm going to click Next, and then for these that pop up, I'm going to click Allow. And this is all of the recordings I've actually done already. So I uninstalled this extension for this video so I could reinstall it for you. But this is the gallery of the videos I've made. So now let's say I want to start recording. So I want to show my students how to get to a website and how to find information on that site. So once again, I'm going to go back up to my extension. Because I've already signed in, I won't have to do that anymore. It's ready to go for me. And now this is my controls. So the first thing that you're going to see at the top is what you want to record. So you have three options. I can decide if I want to just record my browser tab, which is convenient if I have something else on my computer that I don't want my audience to see. So let's say down here I have an office file with my students' marks on it. I don't want to accidentally switch to that during this video. I could close it, but you could set to browser tab only, so it's only going to show what's happening in this browser tab. Something to keep in mind though is that if I'm in Google Chrome and I open up a new browser, the video is only going to record the first browser I was on. So it depends on what your purpose is, but I tend to choose my second option, which is record your desktop. So this lets me record everything that's on my desktop, whether it's in Google Chrome or not, and it allows me to switch back and forth between different tabs and programs. So it's the most convenient out of all of them. And then you could do webcam only. So I could just record myself doing a lecture and just an easy way to record my face if I needed to. Down below, it has my microphone turned on, and I want to select which microphone I'm using. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the one that's my default. It's usually going to be your best option. And then you can embed webcam. So that means your webcam will show up in this video. So if I put on my second webcam, we'll see if this actually works for us. So when I'm ready, I'm going to go ahead and click record. And it's going to give me a window first because I have multiple screens. If you don't have multiple monitors on, it won't do that. But I'm going to choose which screen I want to record, and I'm going to click share. It's going to give me a little countdown.
3, 2, 1.
And now everything I'm doing is being recorded. And I think it's going to use this webcam over here. So I'll say hello to that camera. And now anything that I do is being recorded. So I could tell my students I want them to go to cbc.ca. I want them to find a certain article that's on here, and I'm going to show them how to get to it. And then I'm going to tell them what information they're looking for in this video. When I'm finished, I'm going to go up to my Screencastify button again. I'm going to click on this guy, and I'm going to hit stop. And that's it. Now what's happened is that now everything I'm doing... So now you can see that this video that I recorded has my webcam included in it. So that was the other webcam that I have on my computer here. And let me just mute this so you don't have to hear two of me. But then this is the video of me explaining what I did, where I went, and it's a very convenient way to record all this information. When you're done, you can name this file whatever you'd like. So I'll call this one Screencastify tutorial. And it's automatically saved to your Google Drive. Now, if you were to pay for the pro version of Screencastify, you get options to edit, and you can actually trim your video and do a little bit more control with it. You would also not have this watermark up at the top where it says powered by Screencastify. So if you purchase the full version of this, you do have a little bit more control. But what's cool now is that because I chose that option early on to save all of these videos to my Google Drive, Screencastify has created, well, let's just go to my drive this way. Screencastify creates a folder in my Google Drive, and it starts to save all of my videos there. So you can see here, this is the folder in my Drive. And then it is going to, if I don't label them, it just has them titled as the actual day. But then this is the video file that I recorded. I could now post this on my Google Classroom. I could upload this to YouTube. I could send this in an email. I have a whole lot of different ways that I can manage this. You are going to see that the file type they use is .webm. Again, if you pay for the full version of Screencastify, they give you options to change the file type. But this file will play perfectly for anyone in Google, and it will upload to YouTube. So it's pretty convenient on its own. So that's the extent of what I wanted to show you today for how to record your screen using Windows, Mac, or even a Chromebook. And now it's up to you to figure out what you want to do with this. I really like creating assignments for students to record their own screen. Now, you might want to check that if your school board allows you to install this on your own device. So students may or may not be able to do this with their school account. But it's really, really handy. So I would recommend getting it added on, even submit a ticket for your IT team to look into this app, because having your students be able to record themselves remotely, I call it presenting without being present, and it's a really fun way to get them engaged, especially for those shyer students who might not be able to do that in person. All right, well, thank you very much for watching today. If you have any questions, always send them to sam@samgoving.com, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so one day I can be super famous. But I'm not going to hold my breath. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.